Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So, if you watched my haul video yesterday, you would have seen I got two whole carrier bags free of charge of spring onions from one of the food initiatives based in the church. The guy was so happy to give me them. So, as I've done before, today I am prepping the onions. Now they're a bit dishevelled, no wonder people aren't picking them up. People can't see past the outer brown. Um, there's just a little few strands of brown on the outside, and these spring onions are absolutely brilliant. So I've done approximately an hour's worth of chopping already. So I'm separating the good firm white ends, keeping the hollow greens separately. I've got a compost pile and a root pile, and I'm working my way steadily through them. So as you can see, there's still quite a few for me to go through, but I'll insert a picture and show you this surface was absolutely full. It was two whole carrier bags full. So I'll crack on. I've had a small break in between. So basically I'm taking a pile at a time. I'm just cutting the edges off and throwing them in the root bowl. There's a lot of different mucks and different things in between, so I'm just slotting that in the compost pile, and that'll add to my compost bin. Some of these aren't worth separating before you take the ends off because they're all the roots are knotted together. So just do it as a bulk. Take the roots off. There's a lot of soil on the island, but it can all be cleaned up afterwards. And then I just pull them off by hand. I'm going to slap my glasses on now because sometimes the little thin edges just stay on, and they're the bits that irritate you in your teeth when you're eating them because they don't cook thoroughly. So these ends, just take the dry ends off the bottom. So that's one ready. Do the same process with the rest of this bunch. An interesting thing I was reading was rats don't like the scent of onion, and it can irritate their eyes. So whether it's spring onions, whether it's your white onions, any type of onions, and you're putting the waste in the compost, if you know where there's a section where either you know there's rats coming through that section or there's a possibility that they could, just slot a piece of onion and use it as a deterrent for them. It doesn't 100% work, but it is a good deterrent. If you've got a major infestation, then obviously you're going to have to look for something a bit more serious. But seeing as we're eating onions on a regular basis anyway, and the peels and the waste go in the compost bin, you might as well send them to work for you and use them in the spaces that are needed. So I know personally we have two compost bins and one compost bin is at the front of the house, and occasionally we've seen them around that area, and it's quite common to have rats around your compost bin. So putting a whole load of these in hopefully works as a little deterrent. Now, we've had a lot of work done on the house, so we've had the kitchen done, and when we were removing everything to have the kitchen done, some of the things nicely got packaged away, and a lot of things just got sidelined, shoved in cupboards, shoved in spaces wherever we could in the meantime. I cannot for the life of me find my dehydrator. I've searched everywhere, all the usual places that I think because of the size of it, it would have been stashed. No, it's nowhere to be seen. So I think I'm going to have to purchase myself a new heap dehydrator. I say for myself, even though it's housework, but nobody else in the house dehydrates it. It's just something I do. And I'd like one of those square ones with the trays in, rather than my standard one that I've had for many years, the round one with the hole in the middle. But yeah, I've searched high and low and I cannot find it. So I think new dehydrator is on the list at the moment. Now, as you can see, the circles are full in the white end, and gradually, as I feel the firmness isn't as firm and the holes get slightly bigger in the pieces I'm chopping off, then I'll call that the dark green end. But for now, these seem to be going okay. That'll be the end of that. So with not having the dehydrator to hand, I'm going to have to put these, what I call the good slices, in Ziplocs, and I'm going to have to put those in Ziplocs as well. They can be used for anything just the same, in omelettes, in stews, make a pesto, absolutely in curries, in absolutely anything at all. And it's a shame to waste. I know a lot of people just cut the white end off and end up throwing this green end in the bin. It's a total waste. The flavour mightn't be as intense as the other ends, but it's still a really good onion flavour. My eyes have watered several times whilst chopping these, so I know the good strong onions. The church that we go to that I got these from, their vegetables are actually supplied to them from a local farmer. So these were growing on a farm, not inside some crazy warehouse somewhere. So I'll just do one more bunch, and then I'm going to leave the rest till tomorrow and give my eyes and hands a break. I've been trying to chop the dirty end on one side of the board, so when I'm chopping the onion, the other side of the board is nice and clean. Now, as I've said many, many times, these roots can be planted in a pot, a tub, in your garden, and they will regrow, and you'll get many, many, many spring onions, and you can just treat it as a cut and come again. You don't have to uproot the roots, you can literally just cut them off, and it's cut and come again. There's so many of these spring onions going to waste in shops everywhere, in farms, in supermarkets, absolutely everywhere. And it's a shame, really. Somebody said recently that, I think his name's Macron, the president of France, has actually made an announcement to the French people to start prepping, building up their emergency water supply and their food stock in preparation for World War III. Now, things like this, although it's very basic and it's just onion. Onion is a staple for flavours in many, many meals. If you've just got potato and you add onion to it, you can make colcannon, you can do potato cakes, you can do your hash browns, you can give flavour to absolutely anything. So if you're prepping, there's nothing better you can do than to salvage something like this. When I worked out the retail value of these spring onions yesterday to do the cost analysis for the whole video, it worked out at £20 retail value of spring onions that I've got here. Now that's £20 I haven't had to spend, and I've got the goods here. And all it's took me is 2 hours maximum. I'll have all the rest of them done. I've done an hour's worth already. And, you know, how long? It's probably about 6 months worth of onions here to use for many, many meals. You can't get much more frugal than that. And it's a major prep. It's a good prep. And they're probably free in a lot of shops. Just go out and ask them, do you want me to take them? And just go home and do the work and just do yourself a favour and put some staples in your freezer, in your dehydrator, whatever it is that you choose to do to preserve. And you really won't regret it. I've done this for many years. I was looking for a video that I've done before, near enough exactly the same as this, but I think it was on members only, because I can't seem to find it on the, I'm just going to call it a discography then. I can't find it on the video list. So here I am showing you again. Some people say, well, that's very basic. You don't need to show us exact detail of chopping the root off and peeling off. Everyone knows what to do with a spring onion. But we've got viewers here. Harfanui is one of our regulars here. And she loves me showing the whole process. And as you know, we don't edit things out on the videos. We show you exactly whether there's an error, whether there's a mistake, whether it doesn't look that attractive at the end of the meal. It's filling our bellies, and we don't edit it out. We show you what it looks like because it's real food. You know, if it came in a restaurant, yeah, you might complain if it doesn't look exactly the way it should do. But when you're at home, it's like make, do, and mend. You eat what you've got. It's the flavours that matter. So yeah, I do like to show the full process from beginning to end. And if there's someone who hasn't done this kind of thing before, you can just play the video and copy as they go along, and it's a good little learning process. So I'm making this my last bunch for tonight. I'll see how much of a Ziploc that fills and these greens fill in a moment. Just let me chop these up. I've got a large piece of ginger there that I need to chop up and dehydrate, but as I say, cannot find that dehydrated anywhere. So I think I'm going to have to do a Amazon order. I know a lot of people don't like hear people talking about ordering off Amazon, but we needs must, and I want to get it in as soon as possible, because if we've got a lot more prepping to do, then the sooner I've got it, the better. So yeah, I'll do a quick order off Amazon, get myself the dehydrator I want. I'll say it's the square one I want with the trays. I've wanted one of them for a few years, but now I can't find the other one. It's the perfect excuse to go out and buy one. Do you hydrate, and what are you dehydrating at the moment? I don't know many people that do it in the UK, and a couple of years ago I did a raffle on my Wallflowers UK Facebook page, asking people to share and promote the page. I got given another dehydrator, same as the one I've just had, a round one, and I gave it away for free. The lady who won it was absolutely delighted. And the good thing is, I watch her Facebook page, and on a regular basis, she's still using it. Now, that must have been 3-4 years ago, and she's still dehydrating and doing different recipes with it on a regular basis. you know, that's amazing. I'm absolutely glad that I thought to put it on there on a raffle, because it's benefited her and she's absolutely using it. So what better? Right, let's get these in some kind of... I came across a recipe for onion pancakes, which was an Indian recipe, and there seems to be quite a lot of onion in it. You know, it sounds great. It's not something I've had before. Is that something you've had before? Indian pancakes with tons and tons of green onions in? There's lots of different ways of calling them. Some people call them green onions. Some people call them spring onions. I kind of do a mismatch of both. You know, I do all this work and I think, well, is that all I'm getting out of it? But that's quite a lot of chopped onion. I've got to admit, my hand is quite tired though after all this chopping. Waste not, want not. Once they're all dried properly, I can freeze them, and then when my dehydrator comes, I can dehydrate them then and I'll break it right down to green powder and just put a spoonful in every now and again. My boys were always iffy. They didn't like the chunks of onion in the food, but if they couldn't see it, they'd say it was delicious. But if they could actually see the onion in it, they'd complain. I don't know if yours were the same. It was always the onion. Never minded most veg. They enjoyed most veg, but never the onion. Right. Let's get a couple of Ziploc bags. And as you know, with my Ziploc bags, I reuse and reuse and reuse until they get holes in. So I'll use it, put something in the freezer, and I'll wash it through, dry it through. You can see they're on the drainer drying. I reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. Everything's so expensive now. I don't see why not. There's always controversy with canning lids. And people say, oh, you don't reuse canning lids, it's not acceptable. I've always reused canning lids until they're marked. You know, that's the frugal in me. I won't throw anything away while it's in good condition. So I've half filled that bag, but if I lay it out, it's a full bag. That's what you'd buy in the supermarket. They're going to end up all over the floor, but hey, I've got to hoover anyway. So you're looking to half fill it and then spread it, and that way they're stackable in the freezer without taking up too much space. And let's do the same. So this is my jam pan, and it's full to the brim of the green hollows. As I say, this will get dehydrated eventually and give me that space back in the freezer. Some bags are bigger than others, but it doesn't matter. Always fold it down so you're getting the air out of it. Oh, the zip didn't want to work on that one, did it? As if I haven't got enough cleaning up to do. Who laughed? Who laughed? One last big one and we're done. Probably take me just as long to do the clean-up. Okay, I'm not messing around with shreds. Okay, so just over halfway through, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of green onions. A lot of messing, compost, and yeah, hopefully rat deterrent, roots to grow, lots and lots of spring onions again for cut and come again, and another batch to work through, and hopefully get another 4 bags out of it. So yeah, I'm quite happy. The work was very productive and worthwhile. What do you think? Do you think I wasted my time, or do you think it's something you might try? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me today. Please take care. Remember you're loved, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.